Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Before and After Thought Podcast with your host, truly as always, Queen Crazy K. Be sure, if you haven't already, watch, like, follow, subscribe, share, and enjoy all up and down all over my YouTube page. I've updated some videos as well, Queen Crazy K, totally free. Support me on my channel as well as I'm doing these videos. I enjoy doing these videos for you guys' entertainment. Also, just something I like doing. So, with that being said, be sure to like and give the feedback with some comments and subscribe and follow and show that you're enjoying watching it and observing it as well as I'm observing and doing it. Go ahead and like and subscribe to grow up more, to expand more, to get over the world, the universe, the globe, all over the planets, can go to outer space, can see it and visualize it and check this out because you're going to be missing out on a lot of great things. If you haven't already, be sure to do that. I'm going to give you a hot second. Queen, Crazy K, go ahead and subscribe to that. Go ahead, watch the videos, like the videos, comment on them, share them to your family, your friends, the fans, the world, the universe, yourself, entertainment. Subscribe right there to the channel to get more videos and hit it up. Totally free, and you won't be wasting your time, of course. So you got everything right. You know how to spell it and everything. Hell, let the outer space know. Let the robots, the aliens, the futures know. That being said, also there's some new videos out there you can check out, like I was talking about in my other videos, but I'll show the playlist right here real fast too. You can check out like my cream. You can check out my latest that we was working on. I was talking about the New Year's song and the Christmas song, and you can go and check out the Christmas song. And my family friends, I was talking about that. I had the videos and had the New Year's party and my New Year's song as well. I was a little bit backed up, but then I also reacted to my WWE Superstar album playlist. And I was talking about how you can check that out, which is right here. It's called Best of 2024 WWA Superstar. You can check that album playlist out, WWA Superstar playlist. Go ahead and check it out. It's real cool. It's real dope. My favorite one is the Randy Orton one that I went crazy on, and I was going to extend it, but I kept all the songs under 2 minutes because that was the goal line. I was just giving you like a sprinkle, like a taste, kind of like snippets most likely, because you know I could keep going. I do freestyles, but I've been writing and sketching stuff down too, which normally I don't do. So it's something new that I went back to doing, sketching, writing stuff down, and that's just like freestyles. You guys check out my album playlist, W Superstar album playlist. It's really cool, really dope, and apparently all of you guys as well as me like the Randy Orton one as well. And you can check out my other album playlists that will be on there for that's available right now and other songs, and like it and comment, you know, give me some feedback on it. To all these other album playlists, like I was talking about, my latest one, which is obviously my name, Queen Crazy K. You can call me K for short. Check out that album playlist, Queen Crazy K. I'll be reacting to that album playlist like I reacted to all my other album playlists. I also got some knockout shows on there as well, and the freestyles and then the rap battles. But you can check it out in snippets all up on the page that I have updated to new and following subscribers, and also the returning subscribers. And thank you guys who've already been watching and liking and commenting and been subscribing and been already checking it out and enjoying it. Check out the stories, the interviews on there, playlist for y'all. That's what that reaction to, well, I was talking about the Cream KDK album. When I was talking about the New Year's song, the Christmas song, the Cream KDK album playlist. I was talking about the W Superstar. Those are the other playlists that y'all can definitely check out as well as my reaction to my own album playlist, which is considered like those interviews over me and my life that you can watch and check out if you're interested into doing that. And then what this is, obviously being the podcast, then you can check out before and after that with Credence K other episodes and podcasts, because this is going to be over the last 3 weeks. So I'm going to take it all the way back to the first Monday Night Raw Netflix preview is what this is going to be about. You can also check me out on the other social media platforms. I do have Twitter and Facebook too, but I'm just gonna keep that to, like family right now, my personal and email, and as far as Facebook and Twitter go, because I'm not on there a lot. It's just like family and extending a little bit of it there. But what I'm on to the most as far as fans is that YouTube, and also I updated, as you can see, my story and my page as well. Let me go to the page right here. I don't know why it's doing that. You can check it out. That I've updated on my Instagram account. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram. Check out the updates and entertainment on there. Because that's what I'll be honest. Instagram not on Instagram, not on Twitter. And then of course on YouTube, which is the hottest thing on Facebook. And then of course what is not, man, what is up and running. Also with my TikTok, Krazy. Check out the snip dance videos on there, because some videos I post on YouTube but don't post them on TikTok, and in other videos I post them on TikTok but not YouTube. And then I just give updates on Insta. So that's why it's important to TikTok and YouTube to balance it, to watch and check them out. You're gonna be missing some videos on TikTok that you ain't seen on YouTube, and you're missing some YouTube videos that you ain't seen on TikTok, because I balance it rather than just putting the same stuff so y'all can watch through TikTok and YouTube. And then the Insta, that's what I like to watch, funny videos and updates and information like coworkers, family and friends, because I'm not on Twitter and Facebook a lot. And then that would bring you to that platinum. You could add me on the Snap. Now my Snap is different. I put a different name onto there, because when I try to put my name on this show, it wouldn't just let me add it the way that I wanted to do professionally, instead of the way that I wanted it to. Once you make passwords and stuff, but once you do it your way, and then wonder why people forget what the hell their password is, because you want to be sophisticated and be a professional and not let us put the passwords the way that we want. That's why we forgetting our passwords, Google. But lucky enough, we got that email backup. You know what it is. You're gonna check out that 2FK 255. Go ahead and add me on that Snap. I'll be adding stories and pages on there, as well as the highlights and stories and updation on Insta, as well as the information swirls around on TikTok too. So you're going to get the information, you're going to get the updates, you're going to get the entertainment, you're going to get a little bit of everything through those social media platforms. So that's what I've been up to, my Krazy album playlist. Check it out. W Superstar album playlist, check it out. I reacted and got other interviews you can check out. Other songs, snippets, and rap albums you can check out. And that's where the social media platforms will lead. And then that's where this is the first Monday Night Raw Netflix premiere, is what this podcast is going to be about for today. And now you know why it's backed up. But I updated for new and returning subscribers too lately, and put all my TikTok videos on Insta as well. So, and then I just added my last night was Monday Night Raw. Did Monday Night Raw prediction like I do. Monday Night Raw commentary like I add shout outs to through Instagram when y'all like or comment on my thing. I let shout outs to y'all through Instagram for that, as well as the Instagram videos that are on there. Then I put it on YouTube. Like right now is my latest Monday Night Raw. You can check it out. Comment videos. It's just freestyling on TikTok videos on there, and then it's like entertainment, funny TikTok videos on there, and then just in general everything I ever did on there It's on instant through social media platforms. It was basically an updation spiral. And you can check them out for like on my page. I was showing you the snippets and entertainment, just so you can find it, know where it's at. Because I know a lot of people try to find it, but you know that's where it is. The story in my page. You look on my page and my story, and then you'll be able to find like what I was talking about in these 6 latest songs I made too on this album playlist called Climb, which I know you've seen that with the remix and the cover because that was last week that I had on there. Updated it since then, and look at there. Of course, updation, giving all the respect to the music stuff because I really like those days. I really dig it, and sometimes I do it without it, and that'd be right here to the other platinum forms I was talking about. It's all on the page in the story. If you just and then liking it and just kind of saving it for later. But this wasn't my history one I wanted to show. I wanted to show my latest video, which that'd be right here. So usually when I do a raw prediction, as you can see, the regular SmackDown prediction video, and then the comment when I like to give shout outs for liking, and of course meet me eye to eye, you know, give you the respect, like thank you for, you know, appreciate it. As well as SmackDown edition and SmackDown result video, add a little bit of everything. These are the TikTok entertainment videos, funny, and then the freestyle ones. So you know how I update their Instagram, TikTok, kind of connecting them together. But like I said, some stuff you see on 1090, you don't see it on YouTube, but then you'll see it on TikTok. You don't see it on TikTok, you see it on YouTube. So, and then this is just in general. It's like if you had a 2 minute, some of my 2 minute videos are added into like short stories instead of the playlist though, but it does let me add to the page in the story. So everything on Kringus Gate page, that's all the videos I ever done on my story. That's all the entertainment videos I ever done. And I just showed you how to get to it. And then got my raw prediction and I did normally. But this time on my raw result, why it's so different and why it's special is because sometimes I do the Instagram photos and videos for my raw results. And then I comment like, you know, give you shout outs like while we watching Monday Night Raw and stuff to communicate together, get everybody's opinions and thoughts, kind of like a group meeting. But then I also do the predictions, giving my opinion and thoughts because usually I hit it right on the nail or I'm pretty close. Or other times I'll add like music in the background to the Raw SmackDown video. So you can hear some music, and while you're watching the Raw SmackDown video, you can hear my predictions. Yeah, separately, either you watch the Raw and SmackDown predictions separate from the Raw and SmackDown video, or you watch the Raw and SmackDown prediction and video together, or you can watch the ones where they got music, or you can watch it where I gave you shout outs through Insta, which is why I got those Instagram photos on there. And then some of them I've updated and made into my own photos and videos. So like these ones, I made it into a comic. So it's my raw prediction on there. And it's also got the raw commentary to the social media platforms, how you can watch other videos like it. And then it's got the raw results, what actually happened. Of course, keeping up with the program and giving all the respect and copyrights and stuff and all that. You know, in the description part, you guys can find more information like related videos and through it all, like the in-game video, how to reach those ones. But it also, this one, I made it instead of reacting to the like funny videos or playlists. This is what I was talking about, why I made the freestyling for the WWE Superstar album playlist rather than making a playlist like best on their matches. Like a lot of people are very doing funny. I talk about it in my predictions or my commentary and react to it as we're all watching, whether I'm there physically or not. But this one I made into, and I give ideas and stuff. I was like, you know what? As Monday Night Raw is on Netflix now, I'm gonna start making when I make my Raw videos. You can go back and check those out. Like I said, some of them got snippets, some of them got beats, some of them just got straight up just a video, some of them got words, some of them got predictions. It's a little bit of everything, whether you like it with predictions, without predictions, just the results, behind the scenes, live music, beats, whatever floats your boat, entertainment, or adding a little bit of other information, which is why it's important when you watch all of them. This one is a comics. So you get to watch, results of Monday Night Raw, which is entertaining. You get to hear my music, what I was talking about, my album, playlist, Krazy, some W Superstar album playlist to react for the new year, and of course, the goals for this year. And also, just to put the icing on the cake, I made it updation into my own comic. So, something I like to do. I always talk about writing down and typing all these papers through English class about short stories and things like that. So I decided to take my knowledge and creativity instead of waiting to make a book, publish, or waiting to make when I make my opinions through Instagram, it gets a lot of attention. Everybody is watching the same thing and have their opinion to the same thing. And that's why I do the prediction and get my opinion and thoughts out. And that's why I do the podcast to also reflect on it. That's why it's called Before and After that podcast. So I can reflect as far as my prediction. So, oh, you're not just saying after it happened or the video. Now you also get updations on what I do outside of the podcast, host as a podcast, as an entertainer, the presentations, as a hoster of the podcast that I created myself to give my opinions and thoughts out, and obviously updations as an insider, like a journalist, and also to give my ideas and thoughts out. I was like, hey, why don't I make these into comics and also hit up with my rapping, like snippets, music videos, playlists, and of course, a little bit of my life, like family, and, friends and fans of where I'm at right now. And also whether I do it weekly, a podcast, or it's like 4 weeks later, 6 weeks later, I'm catching each of them up, whether I do a double knockout, whether I do a single for the week, whether I do a triple threat, fatal four-way, or what I do, just reacting to it all. And it's like this one right here, this is 3 weeks ago. That's why I like to let you know what was going on in between there. So hey, where you been at? How come you didn't do a podcast this week? I didn't do a podcast this week because I released my Krazy K album playlist. Where I've been at before that, I was working on my New Year's and Christmas song. And I also give you updates and for the new and fallen subscribers to make it up to y'all. I even made 6 extra songs on this new playlist since we're 3 weeks behind, and already put half of the album playlist out so y'all can already watch it and listen to it. And I even did my raw edition like I do and gave y'all shouts through raw commentary, but I made it into a raw comic that's very entertaining and very funny and just something different. So that's a way I could get my short stories out too. And then here I am doing the 3 week podcast that we're gonna finally get to now and do updations where long, short, I always get it all caught up and stuff. That's why it's weekly, because it still gets caught up on what happened during that week or 2 weeks or whatever. I let you know, oh, well, I was moving to Texas. That's why I was behind. I was moving back home. That's why I was behind. I had some Raw and SmackDown live events, but I still posted the Raw and SmackDown live events for y'all. That's why I was behind. I still updated new snippets for y'all. That's why I was behind. And I even released half of my album playlist. Let y'all hear it, even though I'm not done finishing it, to make it up while I'm behind. So I always make it up to you if it's behind. Being strictly honest with you, what's going on? I'm telling you what's going on, why it was behind. To make it up to you, I got that album playlist, W Superstar. I'm being real with you. I also got the half of the album playlist just to put the icing on the cake to keep writing and going. And I'm still doing this 3 week episode podcast, reflecting on it, making it up to you. So I get it caught up and still I let you know what's going on, why it was late, but still get it done so it's done. I explained to you why it's late, in case you're wondering. And I still get the video done because you want it. And I enjoy doing it, being honest with you, and putting the icing on the cake, adding extras. So be sure to watch, like, follow, subscribe, comment, and share through them platforms. That will explain it better. That's why you see some videos, here and there, but not over on this, platform, but you see it on another social platform, TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. not the Twitter and Facebook. And of course, Snapchat hit me up on that. So, with all that being said, I done welcomed y'all. I gave you time, did the social updates with TikTok not being banned now. I gave you updates on my account, what's been going on, why it's late. I'm catching it up for y'all, and additional information. With all that being said, let's jump right in to what this podcast is about, which is the Monday Night Raw first Raw premium on Netflix. Another thing about that, so I know you can't, like, if I watch Monday Night Raw, like, I can't show the camera or a video, like, of the Monday Night Raw video. That way you got something to entertain you watching Monday Night Raw. You know, that's the point. You go on Netflix to watch it because there'll be copyrights. Get a strike on that, and I don't want that to happen because I like doing these videos and enjoy it. So, as far as that goes, I was like, you know, with this commentary stuff, it seemed like people are really interested. Y'all really interested what I got to say and stuff. So I like to, and a lot of times I watch it and I listen to the commentaries, but I like to put my own commentary in it too. Yeah, I'm good at this. I know the wrestlers enough. I know wrestling enough because it's been in my life the whole entire time. I got my grandparents, my mom, all my aunts and my uncles and my cousins. We all watch wrestling. We all been in mat wrestling in high school. We all been working out. Like I started working out at 13 and training, being in sports my whole entire life since I was 3, and been in mat wrestling in high school. And some of them get to like college, and like we all know all about wrestling. You got boxers and UFCers and actors and football players. Everybody's into world wrestling entertainment. They had Crawford and Logan Paul, which I got to see both of them live as the boxers, and UFCers. You got Ronda Rousey, Brock Lesnar. I also got to see them live through Raw and SmackDown, and I also went to all the brands like WWE Live and NXT and showed live videos, interacting with the upcoming superstars like Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, and you know they were upcoming, right? They're like new compared to like The Rock and The Undertaker. And that's what I'm talking about, how the most electrifying man in sports entertainment could do a heel turn the end of last year, come back this year, I don't even think it's been 6 months, and everybody pops out of their seats like it's gonna be the last thing that they see with joy on their face. Everybody in the world, in the universe, feeling that spark. We in Los Angeles, Hollywood kids. Plenty of opportunity. It was like an early WrestleMania gift. Early WrestleMania gift. If you can't make it to WrestleMania in Las Vegas in April, we got an early here in Los Angeles Raw WrestleMania, the most electrifying man in sports and entertainment, and that's why. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a legendary. He's a former world champion, tag team, Royal Rumble winner, you name it. The Rock's done it all. Speaker, commentator, been on that mic saying it, you know, on the microphone, knows what the people wants. People's champ, done great things, been in there with legends as he is a legend. Got the spark of like the Outbreak superstars, and also entertain, acts funny, good looking, talented, mix it all in. As The Rock is the most electrifying man now in all of entertainment, whether it's acting, entertaining, wrestling, sports. You got the TKO. Who's at the head of the TKO? The Rock. Who's at the billboard making moves? The Rock. Who did a heel turn? The Rock. Came back, electrified everybody on the Monday Night Raw Netflix premiere, and everybody was chanting Rocky and was so excited while he was talking. He even acknowledged it. High five and happy to see. No one could do it like the most electrifying man in sports entertainment, The Rock. And I talked about The Rock multiple times. Go back and watch my other podcasts before and after that. Watch my other podcasts. I talked about great legends like The Rock all the time. And see my, wrestling vids if you want to see W Live Raw SmackDown. That I've got to have the pleasure of seeing the whole entire bloodline though. Not The Rock, but I got to see like Roman Reigns, the Usos, when Sami Zayn was an honorary Us, even outside of the honorary Us. And people like Drew and Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre's Kevin Owens that had issues with the bloodline. You got now the new bloodline like Solo and Tanya and Taya and Jacob Fatu. So I could talk about legends like Rikishi and The Rock. I got to see Nia Jax though for they were before my time wrestling and stuff. I don't even think I was born. Yeah, I wasn't even born when they started wrestling. Of course, I seen their matches now, but I wasn't even thought of when they started wrestling, let alone when they were still wrestling. Of course, like 2013, everybody remembers that because that's when, like, okay, here I am, like 11, 12-year-old kid. I was in the John Cena era because John Cena is the one that got me interested in wrestling. John Cena is the one that made me believe I could be a wrestler. That's why I started working out 13. That's why I started training, and I've been in sports my life because I always been a knucklehead. John Cena is the reason why I believe I still want to be a wrestler and make my dreams possible and happen. So he is my guy. He is my go-to guy. So it's cool to see in 2013 someone like before him that somebody older than me could say, well, The Rock's my guy that taught me that. When I talk about classic wrestling, I like classic wrestling and the new generation wrestling and like back in 2013 and where we're at in wrestling. So I got the pleasure to go to Raw, SmackDown, W Live, NXT, and 205 Live. I got to, in main event. I got to experience it all. I got to experience legends like Road Dogg on main event. I got to experience the breakout superstars like Cody Rhodes, Tiffany Stratton. I got to see all the horsewomen and interact with them like Sasha Banks, Bayley, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair going to be back on SmackDown. So I got to watch these women build NXT on their back. Go back and watch it all. And I've got to not only watch them live wrestle multiple times, but I also got to interact with them, with Bayley, Becky Lynch, Charlotte, and Sasha Banks. So I've already gotten to experience that, not only watching these women that I love building the company and getting to see NXT live, but also got to now acknowledge and also interact with the horsewomen that made it possible for me even to think about, hey, I want to go and be NXT Women's Champion. I want to make something happen, host Halloween Havoc like Shantu I see live, and make my Krazy K. I'm just gonna put them as K glasses and sell them to the WWE Universe and see on them eye on eye. It'll be NXT's turf now. I got to see the women that built that and interact with that physically, and that was an honor to do that, and it was fun and it was enjoyable. And I can tell you right now, I know you guys know by now, by see my podcast, did you see my predictions, you heard my comments, like them all. But Sasha Banks was my favorite horsewoman. Now it's Big Time Bex that's my favorite horsewoman. And what I would say my favorite wrestler of all time in the females the induction was Sasha Banks first. Now it's Big Time Bex, and now we're getting to the hottest superstars lately, Rhea Bloody Ripley, who I got to encounter with a few times. She gives you the blood rush, she gives you the energy, she gives you that strength, she gives you that fire. I pop out of my seat every single time. Yeah, she puts a smile on my face. I enjoy her song. I sing along with her. I get to see her dominate and win when I get to go. And she's so cool, so nice. I always get to interact with her too. So I got to experience Rhea Bloody Ripley, and she gives me that spark of energy that everybody, yeah, Rhea Ripley. And she also makes me cheer loud. I know she hears me cheering and feel happy, feel excited, feel the blood rushing through your veins, feel your head exploding, your eyes popping out of your head. I know you hear me on the camera. I sound a little bit, I ain't got no sense sometimes. Like when I'm overjoyed, sound like I ain't got no sense. Like what the hell was that? But it's funny and it's enjoyable. I had fun. I enjoyed myself. I ain't embarrassed. That's how you know stuff for the life and views. It's just me enjoying myself because I'll always have fun, always will be a WWE fan. No matter how many people laugh at my dreams or tell me it's stupid. People like Sasha Banks was my first favorite. Now Becky Lynch is my second. And she's my favorite now. My favorite female wrestler used to be Mercedes Moné, but now it's Big Time Next. And of course, I family shrug to the horsewomen I built. I can interact with them physically and go to NXT physically. So now it feels more realer than just watching them on TV, learning all their moves, learning what they're about to say, working out and training and analyzing it. Now I got to actually physically see how it's going to be there face to face, one on one. So I enjoy that. And it's an honor to do it. And of course, we got Charlotte Flair, speaking of her, got her already trailer returning to SmackDown, and now we got Bayley, speaking of her, on the Monday Night Raw brand officially, which would bring me to that's the women's division, and also got to see like the Bella Twins and Naomi as well, the women that started it out like I would say 2013, but I know it was before that they started wrestling. It's been like I think it was 2008 when the Bella Twins started and Naomi got to interact with who I got to first see as a women's wrestler. But the one that gave me that spark was like Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks, and then Big Time Bex. I like the heart and the desire that Big Time Bex gets. With Sasha Banks, I think it was because she's showing me it didn't matter what gender. With me being a woman, it didn't matter the gender. With me being mixed in America, she showed me that color doesn't matter and that size. Of course, I'm not as tall as a lot of people. Yeah. So she showed me that size and height and the color and the gender didn't matter. And something that I dreamed of my whole entire life. I was the same age that she was 10 years old when I wanted to do that. When I wanted to be a wrestler and I still want to do it, obviously want to go to school and still do it. Same wrestler, same age. We had the same mindset. Every time I said something, every time I feel something, she gave me that spark and everything that I was asking about. What about the gender? What about the color? What about the size? She showed me it doesn't matter. And it's easier said than done, kind of like, oh, well, if you believe something, go for it and do it. She actually showed me better than telling me. So it really made me feel happy that there was something for me, someone that looked like me, you're a woman that could actually have a real wrestling match. You get the same amount of respect. People are going to react, how they're going to react to you, what they're going to think. Doesn't matter your color. That all these nerves that are kicking in that are making me think, am I making a mistake or what's everybody else going to think or how I'm going to feel when I walked in overjoyed to when I walk out. Am I going to be shattered? Am I going to be heartbroken? Am I going to be broken? She showed me you can feel happy, you can feel joy, you can give respect, you can be dominant. And now where she's at right now, Mercedes Moné as champion on AEW, breaking necks, breaking skulls, cracking down doors, not letting anybody tear her down. So that's what really got to me why I started taking interest and why Mercedes Moné. Like, yeah, I like the Bella Twins back in 2008 when I used to watch them wrestle and I went to live events when they used to come to my hometown and seeing them wrestle and like Summer Rae, Alicia Fox. It was fun to see them, but I like the Bella Twins and I like Naomi who's still there on SmackDown and I enjoyed that. So she's really cool, really high flyer class athlete. I think she should be a champion this year. I know she's tag team women's champion, but it's just temporary. So I think doing something with her is she's the one that attacked Jade Cargill. We'll find out. It'd be a big heel turn for her and maybe get a chance and an opportunity to stand up and stand out and kind of go back to that heel turn Naomi that she was before to get more respect to her name, more opportunities that she deserves just as much as the next guy. And maybe we can see Naomi hold a SmackDown Women's Championship belt again. Or even a United States Women's Championship belt because I still think she should have won that United States Championship belt. So, anyway, with that being said, the first one I got to watch in the wrestling business as far as that goes, and I got to see on SmackDown Live, I got to witness live Lita, one of the horsewomen, or one of the trailblazers. She's not the horsewoman, but she's the trailblazer before the horsewomen were even invented. Hall of Famer, legendary, a trailblazer, a spark in the history that will live on forever, that made it possible to have a women's wrestling match. I got to see Lita along with Trish Stratus, who broke the record, but I got to see Lita, who was a part of that, live on Friday Night SmackDown, sitting on the chair, dancing with Leah. And I know she like smiling and acknowledging me. It was on my Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins video that I posted on that. That was like, I think it was the beginning of January, maybe it was when she came back, because it felt like it was around like New Year's and Christmas time. And I had my niece and nephews with me, my mom was with me, my sister-in-law was with me. My brother was supposed to go but wasn't there for some reason. He had something that he was doing. And then I got to see that and I got to enjoy that, and it felt good. It felt great. It felt like, hey, now all this classic wrestling I get to watch and enjoy and talk about. I got to be in it and experience it, even though I wasn't born yet. The older people will tell you, well, you wasn't there when the good wrestling was happening. But I know all about the Hall of Famers. I know all about the wrestlers and the legendaries. I watch classic and old wrestling all the time and enjoy it. And the fact that I got to be a part of it now with Lita there, who made it possible for a women's wrestling match, that was exciting to see. That was enjoyable. And I was standing on the chair. And the security guard didn't make me stand down or anything. Just laughed and enjoyed it with me. Everyone else chimed in and just enjoyed that feeling. And with Trish Stratus, I got to see her on Monday Night Raw live, and I was thought like, ooh, I like Trish Stratus. Like now, I've seen her in some messed up matches and things happen, but she's a Hall of Famer. She's a legendary. She's a Hall of Famer because she didn't let it break her down. She's a legendary because she kept fighting. She dominated. She's a trailblazer. She's a six-time women's champion, a former, dominated, and now current. Speaking of Trish Stratus, you go into the Royal Rumble here in February in Indianapolis. There's going to be a meet and greet with Trish Stratus. So, a Hall of Fame legend like Trish Stratus, I got to see Trish Stratus on Monday Night Raw. It was before she came back and turned a heel turn. She was, a baby face, I guess you would say, or see if anyone still cared, Of course we care. Of course we're not going to forget. You can't forget. Man, I like her new attitude, but you can't forget what she's done for the company, that she had to take all those bullets, all those ropes for us to get the respect and the matches that we want to see and enjoy, and for the women's wrestlers to get the respect in a match as a woman, not as an obstacle or whatever they think they're going to use them as a person, as a female wrestler, as a female superstar, got the respect. People love it and enjoy it, and also be an equality, really equality, not just saying, oh, well, now women can wrestle, but, I'm going to give you a match where your entrance is longer than your match, or where we only see one woman match. Now we can see multiple women matches. Now we get to extend the time just as long as the men. We get the same respect. People cheering and not playing with a beach ball and hearing and be like, hey, is a crowd here? You don't have to know. You don't have to ask that question because you can hear them. So you get the same respect in the same terms. So it's different than showing than it's saying. And people like Trish Stratus took those bullets so that we can enjoy that. So I like seeing Trish Stratus on Monday Night Raw before she did that, had that going back and forth with Becky Lynch. So I got to see that on Monday Night Raw, and I enjoyed that. Trish Stratus, the woman that made it all possible by taking those bullets. I enjoyed seeing her, and I even got to interact on that chair with Lita, and that was just putting icing on the cake. You talk about Stone Cold Steve Austin in the men's division and The Rock. That's who my favorite classic wrestlers are. Is Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. I talked about them, but I never got to see them live though. But I get to talk about them in my podcast, my predictions, and my videos. and get to keep their legends on and going, like The Rock being on Netflix Premium, The Undertaker being on Netflix Premium, and Stone Cold Steve Austin, of course, being brought up on my Raw's name. So I get to keep talking about like The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Undertaker keeping their legends alive, since I haven't got to experience them live yet. But I got to experience like John Cena, Randy Orton, and Rey Mysterio. I got to experience them live multiple times. And Rey Mysterio, you know, when you just look inside their mask, and I got to high five Randy Orton. And the funny thing is, those are the guys I grew up watching that I would compare to like Cena, and I would compare like The Rock to John Cena, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and The Undertaker would be lined up with Randy Orton and Rey Mysterio. So I got to experience their legends in the podcast, and then physically those superstars I got to grow up and watch. So, and also with the horsewoman I was talking about, that's why Mercedes Moné was my favorite. Now it's Big Time Bex because I like the fire, I like her heart and her desire. No matter how many times people try to criticize her, she just gets up. You knock her down, she gets up, fights stronger. You try to take her down with your criticism, she turns you around because she does what you said she can't do. She became double Bex, Big Time Bex, when she became double champ at WrestleMania, which everybody said she couldn't do. Proved all the critics wrong. Went out there and stood up for herself against the old boss man. Slapped him across the face. She took her heart and her desire in her fight, and no matter whether it's an injury on a knee, she's still going out there challenging the baddest woman on the planet, Ronda Rousey. Whether this boss man's in her face and she's slapping him like Triple H, whether Stephanie's trying to get in her face and get in her bubble, trying to mark her, trying to, oh, I'm the boss, I'm over you, and dragging her into armbar, whether it's everyone criticizing and nobody, even the commentary, was talking against her. I had to put my neck so far out her because I see her. And she won Big Time back, so then everybody respected her. Then everybody see that I could see the heart, the fire, and the desire in Becky Lynch. That no matter what you say and do, Becky's going to get up, fight harder, fight stronger, get better. And Becky Lynch is one of a kind. That's why I like Becky Lynch. I rock with Becky Lynch. I can feel that because that's how I do. I get so many critics telling me I can't do it, that it's not for me, that it might not happen, laugh in my face at my dreams, try to take me down, try to take shots at me all the time. And instead of getting angry and getting mad or believing what they're saying, like getting emotional on me, yeah, it hurts coming from your own family, let alone friends that stab you in the back or fans that just want profit, not really fans or care about what you're saying or doing. It's good to get all that, like real family members that have your back and friends that is not going to stab you and want something from you from fans just being yourself. It's good to get that. And I feel like Becky Lynch showed me that we can do that. And I always crack my jokes because I got Irish in me. I always say, well, it's Irish people got to stick together because I got Irish in me and I got red highlights. So, got kind of a look like Becky and get to connect with Becky. And also, she's a little, and I'm like, you can see I'm wider, muscular, but height wise, a lot of people are taller than me. But I noticed that when I go up to people, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. So that's why I really like Becky Lynch. I know I talk about it and I say it all the time. You know, like the Elimination Chamber, I was the only one going for her, and she won it, and she got it done, and she did exactly what I said that she was going to do, and that she can do. Tiffany may be the MPV of the fight, but Becky Lynch was the dominator of the war. So, with that being said, Becky Lynch is one of a kind. I can't wait. I want her to come back so bad on Raw when she's ready, when she feels like it's time. I can't wait to see Becky Lynch. And you know, I think that she's not done. I don't think so at all. Everybody knows that Becky Lynch ain't done. So that means that I can't wait to see Big Time Bex, that fire and Irish lash kicker. Big Time next. Everyone chanting Becky back on the Raw brand. Becky Lynch. And of course, speaking of the horsewomen like Charlotte Flair, we see the trailer her going out of injury back on SmackDown, which means, and then we got Bayley that I was talking about coming off of the Raw. We got Mercedes Moné on A&W, which means I think Becky she'll be back, and it would obviously be on Raw with Seth Rollins. And also, you know, you can't have red hair, right? Like Becky Lynch. And the fire can have red hair like Becky Lynch, the fire like Becky Lynch, the strength, the quickness, the technique like Becky Lynch without being on the number one show, Monday Night Raw. It's got to have big time Bex. Raw is big time Bex. So what that means is red with big time Bex. I've been saying Raw instead of saying Raw is war. I've been saying Raw is red. Becky Lynch is Raw. That's another way of saying it. So I'm for sure think, yeah, that's just fun experience a little bit about me and my fun experience with the, of course, the women's wrestler that I first got to see interact with them, but the horsewoman that built to interact in. So me want to go and be NXT and do big things too. And where I'm at now, my favorite wrestlers, as far as legendaries and making the moves and making it happen, that I got to experience that. You know, it's one thing to watch them, it's a different interact with the person that made it possible with the horsewoman, and that was fun. I got to experience all the horsewomen, not only watching the horsewomen on TV or watching them physically live, I got to interact with all the horsewomen, and that felt real to me. And speak about them all the time on the podcast. And then legendaries, I could talk about the men's division. Now I got to grow up and watch the new men's division like Randy Orton, John Cena, Rey Mysterio. So I get to keep that legacy and that history up, and that's why I like doing podcasts and videos like that. And that's what brings the most electrifying man sports and entertainment. Now, most electrifying man of all time, The Rock on Monday Night Raw, Netflix, and that's where I got to experience not The Rock, but I got to experience Roman Reigns, our tribal chief, who officially beat Solo Sikoa in a singles action. I got to see Roman Reigns and the Usos, and also the newest like Solo and Jacob and Tanya and Jacob Fatu coming in. So we got like Rikishi and The Rock legendaries of them that I talk about in my podcast. I just got done talking about too. So me actually getting to be there on multiple times through Raw and SmackDown, I got to interact with all the Bloodline members, and those dudes are big up close. Like the only ones I think are about my height and like my size is the Usos, but the rest of them, like they're big, like they're all tall and muscle, and yeah, they're big dudes. So they're like me, really got a lot of family, stay to heart, stay true to yourself, got that pride and that strength, and don't matter the size of nothing, got that ego. That's why I like the Simones, because I feel compared to them, I got a lot of family just like them. I got a lot of heart with loving wrestling just like them. Not only do I believe in myself, no matter what other people think, and keep fighting harder and stronger, being one of a kind. I got my family and friends that family is everything before friends. That's how I take it too. And that, you do me wrong, you're gonna see a whole another side of me, and that, side don't matter. Like I got that strength and I got that power and I got that dominance. So I got that knucklehead, which is why I be in sports like boxing, self defense, football, basketball, soccer, mat wrestling, and all. So I feel compared to them, even though I'm not, bloodly related to the bloodline. I feel like every time I interact with them, they're like, "Oh yeah, you be family in one of us." And not Nia Jax and Tamina, I got to see them plenty of times live and interact with them too. So I got to interact with Hall of Famers and legendaries that made it happen in new generations to now in the women and the men's division. It's one thing to dream it. It's another to actually see it and feel it and hear it and enjoy it, and puts a big impact when you get to interact with it. So seeing The Rock do all that, and then, bouncing out of your chair, seeing the most legs from like The Rock, sparking it up on Monday Night Raw, Netflix, that just should show you The Rock is one of a kind. Of course, with that being said, as The Rock's one of a kind, I got to experience John Cena, who was my guy, because I got to grow up seeing him and got me interested in wrestling, got me want to be a wrestler, had to be the strongest and fight hard, but just got the heart and the belief. John Cena's last run this year, before hanging up I wouldn't say boots, but hanging out the sneakers as far as a wrestler. But of course, we'll see John Cena, around. Like we see The Rock, we seen him wrestling and stuff. We all thought The Rock would never wrestle, and then we seen him in a tag team action. So who knows what the future could hold. So as we see in the next Friday, man, The Rock holding it down, and I get to talk about The Rock in the podcast. I've seen Cena live. Who knows? We might see John Cena wrestle in the future because we've seen it with The Rock that anything could happen. We've seen it with Goldberg. We've seen it with Undertaker that was there. And I talk about the legends all the time in my podcast, how we get to see those type of things. And now experiencing seeing Randy and Rey Mysterio live, just icing on the cake, Roman Reigns holding that tribal chief in the singles pair, which is why I was talking about how I like to experience how I got to enjoy the bloodline, all the bloodline, including the new one live, enjoy Roman Reigns as the tribal chief, where I got to experience as the tribal chief physically and acknowledging like The Rock in my podcast mentality, and of course seeing like John Cena, Rey, and Mysterio that compared to them, that we could see him in a future match. And it was a fun experience and an opportunity. I feel like that was an early WrestleMania. I didn't get to go to the Netflix preview, but I have got the experience, so I know what it feels like. We got the heel turn, the New Day. Gives Dominic a break because I think now the New Day is the most hated on Monday Night Raw for what they did to Big E. So as far as that goes, we got this, Seth Rollins, CM Punk match, got that feud, and CM Punk won the match, but I think Seth's gonna get his revenge in the Royal Rumble. Seth Rollins, I love seeing him live wrestle, let alone on TV wrestle. High flyer, class athlete, one of a kind. He brings that heart. He brings that strength. That Seth Rollins brings the belief. Holding the company literally on his broken back as world heavyweight champion, not going out to spend injuries. Literally done everything, winning the Royal Rumble main event and the championship that CM Punk was on a rampage that he wanted to do. Last night on Raw, he was talking about that. Main event Jey Uso picking up the victory with Drew, sending the message to Gunther as world champion. He is not only the greatest main event Jey Uso, like we got the whole entire WWE universe heat in with main event Jey Uso because he earned that respect outside of being the greatest tag team champions in the history of WWE, whether it's Raw or SmackDown. Former Intercontinental Champion, showing he could be a breakout star on his own. So I'm yeeting. I know you see my yeet hand. Yeet with Jey Uso all day, and of course him knocking off Drew McIntyre in a singles action, and now moving forward, sending a message to Gunther that he gonna respect him one way or another, sending Gunther out of the ring this last week on Raw, as Gunther bragged about the championship. Of course, he was listening and he was hearing and he was shocked. He wasn't expecting that from Jey Uso. He was uninvested in him, and I can't wait for Jey Uso in San Antonio, Texas this Saturday. Main event Jey Uso in the main event Saturday. I don't know if he'll be in the main event, but we got main event Jey Uso on Saturday. Main event for the championship belt. Not only sending a message to Gunther to respect him as far as the first match, Rich, but also I can't wait for this match to happen. I think a singles championship belt will look pretty nice as world champion on main event Jey Uso, proving the critics wrong again. He proved the critics in the wrong again that he could survive on his own. Everybody heating because of Jey Uso, not because of the greatest tag team champions in history. He beat his brother at his own game just to show you, hey, I could be a better man just like you, or a better fighter or competitor just like you. He beat the tribal chief after, being sucked in and manipulated or, kind of shoved down on the side to show that he could be a breakout star, that he could provide too, that he could do something too, this more than just words and funds and games, that he got that juice too. And he became an Intercontinental champion as a breakout star, and that was just icing on the cake. Sending Gunther out of the ring, a message to him, who obviously was underestimated him. Did something that no one else could do, knock Roman Reigns off, beat his brother off, being the better man, being the straight, got everybody heat on Jey. Who also going to set straight up, you're going to respect me, seeing Gunther, who underestimated him just by looking at him. Takes him as a joke. Yeah, he's full of fun and games and jokes, But when he gets in that ring, Jey Uso can high fly, can super kick you, and be a whole different main event. Main event, Jey Uso is ready to take on Gunther for that World Heavyweight Championship. And that you dang sure, if you haven't already got the message, you're respecting him now. You're getting the message now through your head. You're seeing him now. And you're hearing everything that he's been talking about now. So I'm getting him a main event Jey Uso. I like seeing him and Usos flying with the New Day live and a tag team action. Got the New Day heel turn. I think everybody officially hates the New Day on Raw the most, which gives Dominic Mysterio a break to maybe turn to a babyface. I think maybe Liv and Raquel's gonna move on to SmackDown now that we got Bayley, and it looks like maybe Nia Jax part of Raw. We got Mommy winning the World Championship belt against Liv Morgan. We got now she, of course, reminding Nia Jax that you can't just attack her and get away with it. This was going to be a 3-week podcast, but I'm kind of mixing it up in 2 weeks. And so last night around, mixing it all together, episode and podcast, in case you're wondering why I'm skipping all around. It just made more sense to line it all up where we're at right now with the individual signature. I'm just doing all the episodes and podcasts over 3 weeks, 2 weeks, including last night on Raw. This is now officially a triple threat episode and podcast because I got to talking a little bit more. This went longer than what I thought because I had a little bit of everything going on here and a little bit of sauce of everything. So, yeah, we got a little bit of everything going on here. This was going to be just a 3-week episode and podcast, and I was going to do the other ones separate, one at a time by themselves, but I'm just going to make it officially announcing right now this is a triple threat 3-week episode on podcast, 2-week episode on podcast, and last night's Monday Night Raw episode on podcast. Covering Monday Night Raw is what we're reflecting on, by the way, for the Raw on Netflix. So yeah, with that officially happening and enjoying, and that is officially live right now as we speak. I was gonna switch it up a little bit, kind of taking it down a little bit, but I thought maybe break it up into parts I could do. But it kind of since it already happened and stuff, that I just want to talk about how CM Punk and Seth Rollins match, the Jey Uso and Gunther match, that Drew McIntyre situation, the New Day heel turn, and now Rhea Ripley. Over to Liv Morgan, but now focusing on this Nia Jax now. It'll happen in weeks, days, feels like overnight that it's happening right now, and that's where we're at. So, as the updation, as the description, as the videos, as I was talking, as it was going on, the live experience, we got CM Punk, who won the match over Seth Rollins, who loves that he won the match over Seth Rollins, feels like he did something, as Seth Rollins obviously got the fight and the chip off his shoulder when they was hitting it back and forth with real life heat. As far as Seth Rollins, Seth Rollins sees CM Punk as a hypocrite and things like that. The way he sees him as hating something, and now you're loving it or you're working for it. And CM Punk just sees him as, hey, I was straightforward what I wanted to do and where I wanted to be, and I did that. And he talked about the broken back, right, as Seth Rollins. Well, and then you can talk about how CM Punk had a broken arm that he discussed. That CM Punk was very, very I was broken up on the WrestleMania commentary, and Seth Rollins, meanwhile, asking him about his back. He took the broken back and defended Raw, SmackDown, WWE Live, NXT, you name it, as World Heavyweight Champion. Just like you won that Hell in a Cell match against Drew McIntyre to protect your family. I see Drew critical because he didn't like when people talked about his family, but he turned around and did it to CM Punk, and then wondered why CM Punk wanted to win the match against Drew to protect his family after the elbow injury. And it wasn't just that, you're constantly calling out CM Punk. You're taking shots at CM Punk. You're attacking him. You talk about his family. You literally brought him up every single time. You made a whole shirt to try to embarrass and try to punk out CM Punk. So CM Punk won that Hell in a Cell match, got his dignity, got his pride back to protect his family as any man would. CM Punk got rid of Drew McIntyre. After that injury, of course, won that Hell in a Cell match. Seth Rollins, you gotta say he's got a broken back. He carried a world heavyweight champion though, and the company on his back. Came back after that knee surgery, beat the hottest superstar Roman Reigns at Money in the Bank. That the critics wasn't gonna stop him either. So they both definitely proved the critics wrong as far as CM Punk is said. They both got the prize. They both got real IP. You heard it in both of their names. Seth calling out CM Punk. CM Punk, of course, not going to back down. Seth knocking CM Punk in the butt. CM Punk knocking off Seth in the match, but obviously Seth reminding you who's been holding it down for 2 years and 10 years and who he is around here. You know, former tag team universal champion, Money in the Bank winner. You want to talk about how you want to move forward. Last night, that CM Punk was all on a rampage. Talking about he wants to win the Royal Rumble, win the championship belt, and move forward. That's what he sees himself doing, CM Punk does. Seth Rollins has already won the Royal Rumble, already main event at WrestleMania, already became champion. So Seth kind of got you there because Seth already did what you want to do. Just like you beat Seth at something he admitted that he was even ashamed of. So I think Steph's going to get his revenge and eliminate CM Punk in the Royal Rumble. That's what he's looking forward to do. Seth, of course, having to knock him off after that match. Seth, of course, having to knock off Drew McIntyre in a singles action, and Drew attacking him after the match was over, being a bitter. I mean, you're the one that called out Seth Rollins to a match. Seth beat you in a match, and then you attack Seth Rollins. So, of course, Sami Zayn, as a real friend, protected and had the back of Seth Rollins. You know, I don't get what Drew McIntyre's issue is because he keeps saying he cost me matches and championship belt matches, but I'm pretty sure that it was Drew McIntyre, Baron Corbin, Bobby Roode, and Bobby Lashley. It wasn't Bobby Roode, it was Bobby Lashley. It was Drew McIntyre's, Baron Corbin, and Bobby Lashley constantly attacked Roman Reigns, constantly cost Roman Reigns matches, constantly not only attacked him and called him out and cost him matches, cost him championship matches as the big dog. You know, you did all these things to Roman Reigns. And even the Usos, who had to get involved a couple times to try to have his back, to try to protect him. You done all those things to Roman. Roman is now the tribal chief, officially knocking off Solo Sikoa to own that island officially. That it is Roman Reigns, like Paul Heyman said, being the tribal chief, being acknowledged by the world, welcoming the tribal chief rather than booing him like they used to. And he's still in Roman Reigns. He's still the big dog Roman Reigns, being acknowledged by The Rock. Undertaker John Cena's in the building. He's still the dominator Roman Reigns. He's still the big dog. He's still the tribal chief that knocked off tribal an eye for an eye to officially be it. He's the one that started it. We can admit that the bloodline was stronger and better when Roman Reigns was in charge. That it was rocking and it was popping. Still the same guy, but now the world and the universe is seeing Roman Reigns as the tribal chief, acknowledging him, officially winning that match over Solo Sikoa, and that brings me to the point that Drew, he did all that stuff to Roman Reigns in the past and seemed to forget. Roman Reigns just gave you a taste of your own medicine, costing you matches, championships, injuring you, and beating you down with a group of people. Everything you did that Drew did to Roman in the past, Roman just reflected and got payback on you in the future. So I don't think that Drew McIntyre has anything to be upset or be mad about. I don't know why Drew McIntyre is on this rampage that he's got to get revenge on Roman Reigns. When you did all that stuff to Roman Reigns just gave you a taste of your own medicine. Everything that Drew thought was okay back then to do to Roman Reigns like, all right, costing you matches, championship, injuring you, and attacking you just like you did to him. I say Roman Reigns finally got his revenge and his payback, gave you a taste of your own medicine, and you just don't like it because he gave you a taste of your own medicine. So you have nothing to be mad about. And everybody that's a socializing with Roman Reigns, you want to talk about Jey Uso? Jey Uso beat you in that match. You ain't got nothing to negotiate about. He's on to versing Gunther now, sitting Gunther on his butt to respect him. That he ain't just no pushover, former Intercontinental Champion as a singles competitor outside the greatest tag team champions in history. Now he's one of the former Intercontinental Champions, so he can do something as a superstar on his own, so that he main event Jey Uso. Everyone's cheering for Jey Uso, acknowledging him, seeing him. He knocked off Roman Reigns when nobody else thought he could. The one man that couldn't be beat. He became Intercontinental Champion as an individual breakout superstar. He got everybody yeeting for Jey Uso, knocking Gunther on his butt to respect him. Now he's got the World Championship opportunity against Gunther to take it from him at Saturday main event. So Gunther ain't got no choice. Gunther has no choice now than to respect main event Jey Uso as they go this Saturday for the World Heavyweight Championship. So with that being said, everything that Drew did to Roman's just giving Tasty you back. So you ain't got no reason to be mad, and Jey Uso only beat you at your own game and moving forward. So there's really nothing there anymore. There's really not a segment anymore. You know, you did all those things and thought it was cool and thought it was dandy. So now this is his chance and opportunity to hit you where it hurts. So yeah, as far as that goes, you ain't got nothing to be mad about. Roman hit you with your medicine. Jey Uso's moving on. Gets his Gunther situation. Seth Rollins, I think, is looking forward as he knocked off Drew McIntyre, who called him out. You know, Drew called him out. Seth Rollins is never one to back down from a fight or a competition, so Seth Rollins played his cards right. He played it. He showed up and showed out, and Seth Rollins showed why he is the visionary, the revolutionary, and why he is Seth freaking Rollins, and never will be forgotten as such. Seth Rollins knocking off Drew in the singles action, in singles competitor against Drew McIntyre's, following up. You know, Drew calls me out. Seth Rollins beats Drew at his own game in a singles action. What does Drew do? Attack Seth Rollins after the match was over. So that's hypocritical. You know, you call Seth Rollins out. Seth Rollins beat you in a match. Seth Rollins beat you in a match that you called him out, and you decide to attack him after the match. So, of course, Sami Zayn comes out and helps his friend, being that honorary friend that he is, and having his back and not going to let that slide. I see maybe now Drew and Sami having a singles action next week on Raw. Who, after that happens, I think that Jey Uso, not only did he not, Jey Uso won that match against Drew to get that burden off of his back, but he also let Gunther know you're going to respect him by getting physical with him. So now that he's done that, I think that Jey Uso, if he wins the World Championship this Saturday, after, Sami helping Seth Rollins out, who knocked off Drew, who called him out, Seth looks forward to get his revenge on CM Punk in the Royal Rumble. As far as that match happened, like I was talking about, this CM Punk is on a rampage to win this match, and Seth has already main evented and won the Royal Rumble, won the championship, did something that you want to do, just like CM Punk won the match over Seth that Seth wanted to do. Bragging and laughing about it, Seth can also brag and laugh that he did something you want to do, which is win the championship, main event, WrestleMania, win the Royal Rumble. And that's why Seth is looking forward to get revenge against you at the Royal Rumble, while you're looking forward to moving on from that. I see Sami Zayn after, who helped Seth Rollins get a match with Drew, but I think that if Jey Uso wins this match against Gunther as world champion, that Sami Zayn, who wants a world championship opportunity, will be the next one in line. That would be Jey Uso beating Gunther for the world championship, getting his respect, and that would bring Sami Zayn, who wants the same respect from the universe, to challenge Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship belt after, of course, knocking off this Drew McIntyre the following week, which, of course, Seth Rollins is like, what the hell? I think Seth is going to focus on, CM Punk's focused on winning the Royal Rumble Main Event Championship, as he feels like he got Seth where he wanted. I think Seth's going to hit him and be like, well, now I got you where you want because you beat me in that Raw match and now you feeling good. But I main evented and I won the Royal Rumble Match Championship, something that you want to do. So I'm one step ahead of you. I think they're even, calling out and hitting each other. CM Punk's looking forward to win the Royal Rumble. Seth's looking forward to getting his revenge at the Royal Rumble against CM Punk. Sami Zayn's going to have a match with Drew McIntyre in a singles action. Maybe at Saturday main event if they can squeeze it in. Jey Uso wins that belt, though. I see him and Sami going for it. Not only will Jey Uso win the World Championship belt to get respect from Gunther, who's overlooking him, but he'll also have a friendly competition match with Sami, who wants the same respect from the universe for himself, who's been making it big as former Intercontinental Champion as well. And Jey Uso will be like, all right, I knocked this burden off of my shoulder. Got rid of Drew, who has, you done all those things to Roman in the past. Roman just gave you a taste of your own medicine. And now that Jey Uso got that off of his back, he's got to get this Gunther off his back for the World Championship belt to make him respect him. And then I think he's going to have Sami Zayn, who wants that world title because he wants respect from the universe. Of course, after making sure him and Seth are good, with that kick and that little mixed up. But Seth knows how it rolls. Seth knows how it goes. Seth knows that that was the point, that's what Drew wanted, was you two to fight against each other when he's the problem. So that's all what it was. And Seth Rollins knows that. But I think that's where it's going to lead to, where it's coming down to, and how it involves all these men in the same bubble. That's where all this leads to, and why I was bringing them in the same situation. That I think why CM Punk is looking forward to win the Royal Rumble and get a championship in his possession, as he feels like, hey, I beat Seth Rollins. Now I want to win the Royal Rumble, win the championship belt. Seth can say, well, I won the championship belt, won the Royal Rumble, something you could do, so I got to step over you and get his revenge at the Royal Rumble. Meanwhile, are you good with Sami? So he's obviously going to have Drew McIntyre. He wants a singles action with him. And he wants a world championship opportunity, which I think would be a friendly competition between him and Jey Uso, who Jey would obviously earn the respect from Gunther by beating him for the world championship belt. Sami would get his world championship opportunity because him and Jey are friends, get a friendly competition, get the respect from the universe. Seth can get his revenge against CM Punk at the Royal Rumble, kind of feel like an eye for an eye. And, of course, CM Punk never been one to sleep on, never been one to have a filter on his mouth. He's never afraid, to say what he's feeling. As far as Drew, Sami's going to take him in that singles action after trying to conclude them against each other. Roman, you got a problem with Roman Reigns? Take it up with Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns will straight up tell you, everything Drew did to Roman got revenge on Drew. Jey Uso's focused on getting respect from Gunther as world champion. Sami Zayn's looking forward to a world championship opportunity. Give respect for the universe and friendly competition. Not worry about somebody bitter that happened in the past and that you done to them. CM Punk looking forward to win the Royal Rumble. Seth wants that revenge, wants that eye for an eye. And that's where we're at right now. And speaking of that would bring Bayley, who's now officially part of Monday Night Raw, who beat Nia Jax in the past. Nia Jax beating her for the championship belt. She had Nia Jax winning that match for Bayley, but Bayley is a part of Monday Night Raw getting the respect from the WWE universe. Now, as far as Bayley wanted the horsewoman and getting respect from the WWE universe, a part of Monday Night Raw stepping up to Nia. Nia were to get that victory over Bayley. But obviously Bayley has beaten Nia in the past just like Nia has beaten her in the past, and she stepped up to Nia just like Nia won that victory over here with bring Rhea Bloody Ripley, new women's world champion that never lost it, knocking off this Liv Morgan situation. Now, Rhea Ripley's got her man, Jey Uso, instead of Dom. She's got her world championship belt, something she never lost. The universe never gave up on Rhea Ripley either. And now we got welcome into officially Monday Night Mommy. Which means she also got her revenge, that everything, you want to talk about the arm and this and that. Rhea warned you. You didn't take the hint, so she had to take you out physically. The way I see it, Liv was mad that Rhea beat her to the punchline and injured her arm, and then Liv felt like, oh, I gotta get revenge and take your arm. Rhea got real family members, priests, not people that was just feeding off for her to be champion, because you see neither one of them's champion since Rhea's not associated with them anymore. She's got her real family priests. She doesn't need the Judgment Day who ain't champions now. We know that Rhea dominated. When Rhea was in there, Rhea got the Judgment Day to come together. Now they're falling apart. Rhea had all the Judgment Day as champions. Now none of them are champions. Rhea has her real family priest, not who I think the Judgment Day is going to fall apart. You can already see it. Ben wants to go on his own. I think Raquel and Liz might move to SmackDown. The New Day is the most hated superstars on Raw, which gives a babyface opportunity for Dominic. And as far as Khalil, hell, you might as well get a Raw, figure out a W Raw mascot for the show or something, because, they're not really doing anything with them. And, that's where we lay at. Got our World Championship back, got our man Jey Uso ready for the World Championship this Saturday. That she don't need that. She got her family and her championship and her dignity back. She got rid of this Liv Morgan situation, and now Rhea's focused on getting her revenge on Nia Jax, who this burden Nia Jax, which makes me think that Nia is a part of Monday Night Raw because she attacked Rhea Ripley, which Rhea Ripley obviously brawling, no amount of security guard or referee can keep Rhea Ripley from getting her hands on Nia Jax. Because nobody attacks Rhea Ripley and gets away with it. And she showed up and she showed out. And with that being said, Rhea's now got an official match, probably for the World Championship belt, to show why Rhea's still World Champion, beat Nia once again for a Championship belt this Saturday, main event in San Antonio, Texas. Based off of Dallas, Texas, and Los Angeles, just in case you wonder. I've been to Dallas, Texas. Flew in there, big city. San Antonio, Texas, where I went with my brother and my sister-in-law, graduated for the Air Force. And I did JRTC myself, so really big, really fun, really excited. So that's what's going on with CM Punk, with Seth, with Drew, with Roman and Drew and CM Punk and Seth and Raw and SmackDown and Judgment Day and Rhea and Liv and now Nia Jax, and including Bayley into this. And speaking of the New Day and tag team champions, great. I mentioned the New Day being the most hated, which gives Dominic a free opportunity to be a babyface, as the New Day is the most hated on Raw officially superstars. I think that with Dominic being a babyface, that can maybe boost him up a little bit. That can give him an opportunity to win some matches as an individual superstar on Raw, because it looks like Finn Balor wants to go on his own, and Priest is ready whenever he is, and it seems like I was thinking maybe him and JD would be tag team partners that I could see Finn going on his own, locking up with some more matches with Priest on his own. And as Rhea's moving on to Nia, I can see Raquel and Liv moving over to SmackDown with Strive, which will bring Bayley and Nia over to Raw. And I think I'm waiting for Becky to come on Raw. We got Tiffany Stratton over there on SmackDown as well, which will bring into this category and situation. That's just even and balance it out. And then maybe JD and Dominic could be a tag team against the War Raider for the Raw Tag Team Championships. And I really think Kalisto should really be, he's at this point, a mascot for Monday Night Raw because they're not doing nothing with them. You know, he's just got that characteristic, that funny situation going on there. So maybe that would be fun to, if WWE created a WWE sign, you know, like when you watch football or basketball or any other sport, there's a mascot, and that's Khalil out there making a star, making us all laugh and enjoy Khalil out there as our mascot. So that's where it would lead to with all the Judgment Day members and how it led into the situation, bundling into one. Now you see why I didn't Triple Threat podcast, where it was leading to, where it was socializing to. And how about that Celtic Warrior Sheamus, former World Heavyweight Champion, former Tag Team Champion. Fight night for the Great White Shark. The Celtic Warrior Sheamus beating Krazy in his singles action. Looking forward against Braun Breaker, former NXT champion, Intercontinental, now current. We got Braun Breaker getting alongside the leash. As the Intercontinental champion. Fresh blood to continue as Intercontinental champion and knock off Sheamus. In the new Today Society, and of course, Sheamus reminded him, I'm a former World Heavyweight Champion. I just knocked off Krazy, an Outbreak superstar, here on Raw. Now, as Krazy may be an Outbreak superstar winning the singles actions on Raw, Sheamus will always be that warrior. So don't forget it, Krazy. Superstar singles action. He's a former world champion, Braun Breaker, Intercontinental champion. He's going to find out that this Saturday, no matter which way it goes. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a fight. You see, and obviously, Sheamus getting Braun Breaker, pushing Braun Breaker this week on Raw for last week on Raw, focusing on the Intercontinental Championship. As obviously, Sheamus wants to prove, hey, I'm a former world champion. You're going to respect me around here. And Braun Breaker want to be that flesh blood, that new Intercontinental champion. So, hey, your time is up. My time is now. So that's what it's about, as the ego and stuff. Of course, Sheamus is respected as world champion, but our new Intercontinental champion, Braun Breaker, wants to stay like that and stay as is. So that's what I know. Got some updates in news. I talked about how they talk about, dominance, pride, matches, competition, fights, and things like that. Talked about pride and dominancy, right? So we got the New Day. The world's hating on the New Day. Didn't appreciate what did the Big E. Even JBL, Hall of Famer, legendary, former World Heavyweight Champion as well, tag champions, who's done the dirtiest of the dirty, couldn't agree with what New Day wanted. Hit their skin so bad that New Day wanted their $2 back that your ass can't cash. And the New Day is good at this heel turn and wants the respect. Kofi's already got his respect. He's a former tag team champion. He collided with the New Day. The best tag team matches between the New Day and the Usos, the best tag team matches in history. Former tag team champions. former Raw and SmackDown Dominator, former World Champion, United States Champion. Kofi Kingston has entered in the ring with people like John Cena, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, and Rey Mysterio picks up this victory as a Hall of Fame and a legendary on Monday Night Raw against Kofi Kingston, who the New Day just attacks him after the match is over to the point where LWO has to come out. So I see LWO going in a tag team action with New Day next week on Raw. Meanwhile, Rey Mysterio picks up his victory, showing why he's a Hall of Famer and a legendary and respected as such. But the New Day, I think, has got a tag team with LWO. And that's where that leads up to. And that's how it led up to it. And speaking of, attacks and tag team matches, now it looks like we got the LWO versus the New Day in a tag team action next week on Raw, where Hall of Famer legendary Rey Mysterio condoles as legendary as Sheamus is a legendary, being Krazy going against Braun Breaker for their Intercontinental Championship. That would bring the 6-woman match with Damage Control, showing that they're the dominating team, winning the 6-woman match on Monday Night Raw with Io Sky, who was in the Intercontinental Championship opportunity, and now picks up the 6-woman match to show that they're still the dominating team on this PVE. And had a World Championship opportunity as well, respecting with Dakota Kai and respecting our new Intercontinental first ever in history Women's Champion, Lyra. Now, as Damage Control gives the respect to Lyra, our Intercontinental Women's World Champion, classic NXT match, and respect, Damage Control is still the most dominant team on Raw, picking up that 6-woman victory. After the attacks, after the sayings, call-outs, attacks, matches, brawls, and fights, Damage Control's the dominant team winning the women's match outside a singles competitor. Respects our Intercontinental Champion, Lyra, our first ever Intercontinental Women's Champion. So if I were them, I would say that we got Damage Control and Lyra as far as TV goes. That it's a 4-on-3 situation here. And who the most dominant team is, singles or, as a competitor team. That PVV may be watching their step. Damage Control beat you in a 6-woman match to show they're the dominant team on Raw. So you can't say nothing about that. They got an Intercontinental Women's Champion, Lyra, who brought in that NXT Classic match. It's a 4-on-3 situation. They're going to have to find a new, not opponent, but a new partner as far as that goes. And I think we got the New Day and LWO on a tag team action next week on Raw. We're going to see a main event. Jey Uso to become new world champion this Saturday. And speaking of women's world champion, Rhea Ripley handled this burden of Nia Jackson. Also, take a look what's next for Bayley. She may have came up short, but she's beaten her in the past, and she's a one of a guy in this legacy game. So I don't think that the Bayley is going to take it too far as that goes. Which would bring another dominated team in Heart. That The Miz coming up short against Sami Zayn. As Sami Zayn wins against The Miz. Looks forward to World Championship opportunity. Jey Uso looking forward to win the World Champion and respect from Gunther. And I think he would give that friendly competition to Sami. Is he good with Seth Rollins as he run over Drew? Because obviously you're going to have this Drew singles, on your back. I think that Drew needs to take up his issues with Roman. Seth needs to focus on CM Punk in the Royal Rumble. That way, we got Seth Rollins can focus on getting revenge on CM Punk in the Royal Rumble. As CM Punk looks forward to winning the Royal Rumble. John Cena making his last year the great year. Don't forget that legacy. As Sami can get respected from the universe, get a championship friendly opportunity if Jey Uso knocks off Gunther, earning that respect from Gunther, which will earn the respect of the universe, Sammy getting opportunity and having that as well. And then Seth and him can still be friends and cool and, focus on what he wants, which is that Royal Rumble, just to knock off Punk. Of course, Punk moved forward to it, and Cena and they're legendary. And shout outs, call outs, competition, and we got Monday Night Raw going wild. Raw is war. Raw is red. Hashtag Raw is war. Raw is red. That's what I've been coming up with, making up. Just like on the blue brand I mentioned with Tiffany and Naomi. Tiffany SmackDown was champion, who I think is going over there with Raquel, and also Naomi about this. Is she helped turn Jade and tag team was champion? How that could be a cooking for her. And seeing that for Krazy on the Raw the Superstar. Dominant team on Thursday. Now as Judgment Day falls apart, Dominant team will win for the splitting up between, I think the breakup of Judgment Day would split that up between Raw and SmackDown as singles and tag team, which will bring the LWO and the New Day in a tag team next week. Speaking of tag team and a tag team action, Rey Mysterio, the Hall of Fame and a legendary, as well as Sheamus wants to be respected against Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Champion this Saturday. Man and Jey Uso wanted that respect from Gunther as world champion. I think Sammy will get that friendly competition. He's already got respect from the universe. And he's going to have this Drew who needs to take it up the Roman. Seth moving forward, wants his eyes on Seth, on CM, wants his revenge on CM Punk. CM Punk trying to move forward. Don't just the legendaries that are in there. Don't forget who you're in the ring with. You got John Cena, you got CM Punk, you got Seth Rollins, who officially declared in the Royal Rumble. In Indianapolis, you got the meet and Trish. I talked about legendary. And you got all kinds of crazy stuff going on. Raw is red and Raw is war. And Raw is cooking. And has been the last 3 weeks straight in a row. It was WrestleMania perfect on Raw, and these last 2 with these brawls, matches, and fight. It's a main event Saturday in Dallas. I've been in Dallas and San Antonio and got family in California. The Eastern Nashville, California. I've been to Dallas, it's big on the airport, and San Antonio for when they graduated for the Air Force. My brother and my sister-in-law did, and I've been in Jersey myself, so it's cooking. Lived in Texas for a little bit and moved back here, my hometown. So, moved back my hometown after that. So, it's cooking, it's hot. Got the barbecue, got the barbecue chicken, got the barbecue ribs hot and cooking fresh. Yeah, we know what's up and what's going on here. So, I think it's going to be the New Day versus LWO tag team match next week on Raw. Speaking of tag team, and that's where, Seth wanted to give around CM Punk the Royal Rumble. CM Punk would move forward in Royal Rumble. I think that Sami Zayn wants to knock off Drew, get the respect from the Universal Championship opportunity, whether it's main event Jay getting respect from Gunther, whether he wins or not. And then that's where their heads are. And as I'm reflecting on Raw, that's a little bit of my Raw predictions for next week on Raw too. And as I'm reflecting on updates, talk about the Royal Rumble, we also got Elimination Chamber and then WrestleMania will be hitting us in the face. That's where we're at when we've been over the 2 weeks in my Raw prediction, Raw content, Raw results, and also my latest Raw comics I'm starting to do and reflecting on them. And as this last week on Raw that I reflected, I'm also going to be doing Raw commentary to it. So as we're watching it and examining it, I'm going to be showing the camera just me sitting here talking like what I would say as a commentator on it. So just so you're aware of how that commentary is going to work. And it's going to be a whole new playlist. Like, these are being my before and afterthought playlists with my other podcasts to give you updates and my information. Also, acknowledgement, subscribe to the page and hit it up on TikTok, Instagram, and follow and like to get updates. And that snap that I showed you to verify. And, that's it. That's all, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. And, of course, everything you need to know, wants to know, and more. And that would bring me to make sure you subscribe, like, and also make sure you watch my other ones and like, comment. Make sure you share it, too. And watch my other and this will be on the playlist, my before and after that podcast. Updates and information you need to know, want to know, and also my opinions and thoughts, my predictions on my page and story through Raw and SmackDown, including the results of the videos. In case you're got questions and wondering, go ahead and ask them if I haven't answered it. And also that Insta and that TikTok, go ahead and check that out because that's where I'll be on and updating to Snap. So, and I showed you where to find it at and stuff, reflecting on album playlists like on Cream Kids K album playlist, Superstar, other rap battles and freestyles and songs and albums down playlists in general, and snippets are all out and it's all popping too. So, with that being said, the 6 songs I mentioned that are out, just a little bit of taste of it that I was talking about too. And then this is officially a new thing and a new playlist. It will be on my page and story with my other Raw predictions and results. So you can subscribe and watch it. And you can also like follow on Insta as I do the commentary on it. But I put it into a comic, so it'll be Raw comics to see how it goes, to see how it flows and sits with. So that's how we're reflecting on that. So this will be in the podcast, along with my other podcast episodes, playlist, but also reacting to how week 1 went for Raw on Netflix. And then for week 2, it'll be the comic Raw that I was talking about that I made that you can watch. And then 3, adding a song, just icing on the cake to see if we're going to continue to do these Raw comics for entertainment, as well as I do the predictions and results, and as well as I do these podcasts and, of course, reaction and reflection. So that's where we're at and that's where we're standing. And also, I'm going to be adding commentary with Raw. Like, it's just going to be like me sitting here, videotaping. You're just going to be seeing on the camera me sitting here talking, reacting, just sitting here as a fan, watching it, hearing it, seeing it, and reacting and analyzing what's going on. I'll be, you see the camera like you see right now. So if you're seeing me just sitting here chilling, analyzing, letting you know what's going on since you won't be able to hear it. And then, of course, based on what I see and react, how I would commentate it. Because there's so many things I want to say and do, and I'm just like, not that they're doing a bad job or anything, just this what I would say, how I would react. So that's what it's for. And those are new things that you can go ahead and check out the other podcasts for you to see the reaction of this podcast a week on Raw and see those other snippets and episode and playlists before you watch me react to the episode and play my newest songs that I released and recovery to those social, also reflecting is obviously when you see the commentary for the 2 weeks mark. And of course the album playlist for the 3 weeks because we are 3 is mine. Like I could reflect on it, but I just did it all in general. So that's where we're at, and that's where, and also the comic already for one of them. For now on, how's the playlist? Do the comics Raw? Is that going to be a thing we're going to see? And of course, the commentary through Raw too. This is my podcast, along my other podcast, but it's also reacting to Raw 1, week 1 on Netflix. And then as far as 2 and 3, we're going to see how the comics work, if that's going to be a new playlist and thing. And how the commentary works, if that's going to be a new playlist and thing. So be sure to watch, like, follow, subscribe on Instagram, YouTube, check it out, updates and more. I think that covers everything we need to know, want to know, and more. And Korean Gay is out. Peace.